Hi everyone, my name is Pedro Ferreira from Frankfurt Valley, and we are here today to record an interview. It's part of a series of interviews that we have been featuring on the event called Emerge 2021. This time we decided not to do it on a written form, but really a video interview. Emerge 2021 is an event that supports LATAM founders to scale into Europe through Frankfurt. And well, today we are here with Nelson Mejia, a very good example of that. He is the founder of weSpark, but let's start with the basics. So Nelson, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Where do you come from? What brought you to Germany?
Yeah, sure. Hello everybody, I'm Nelson Mejia. I'm 30 years old. I come from El Salvador, Middle America. If you don't know it, it's a tiny country there, but if you're for any reason from Latin America, then you should know it. We are Latinos too. Nowadays, I am founder at weSpark, and then I am also involved in two other projects, which I can start telling a little bit more in the future. Let's say, what was the last question also as well?
So what brought you to the
Yeah, what
to
brought
the
me
region?
to Germany? Okay, I'm gonna try to sum it up because it's quite a long story. But basically, in 1974, and Pedro might be getting like scared, like what? In 1974, my dad was 10 years old, and he had he couldn't go to school because you know this sickness where you get a lot of little like red dots on your skin. I believe it's called chicken pox or something like this. So he wasn't allowed to go to school, and he stayed at home. And at the same time, there was the World Cup, like soccer or football World Cup going on in Germany. So he loved football, and he would watch every match and every game. But not only that, before every single one of the games, they would just kind of like showcase the city where the game was going to take place. And since it was in Germany, and Germany won, for the ones who are more into soccer, he was just always amazed, you know, like, wow, these houses and these triangular roofs, and there are no electricity cables on the streets, and the people, they dress differently, and the cars, they look so futuristic and so on. So you can imagine, and he was quite, let's say, like amazed by Germany and how things were different here. So as he was growing up, he figured out that whenever he had children, they had to kind of like go and live in Germany. So flash forward, my father and my mother applied so that I can go to the German school, and so I did. And after going to the German school, like, it's the most logic, let's say, like option between all the ones that I had to just come to Germany and study here. I mean, why else would I learn German so long? It's quite a torture.
Yes.
But yeah. And I'm still learning, but yeah.
So, and right now you have been here in the region of Hessen for quite a while. For how many years already?
Yeah, so in Hessen I've been around 5+ years. In Germany in total 11. I came here to study at first. It was product development engineering, you could say, / industrial engineering, and then I did an MBA. I went back to El Salvador for one, like, I wanted to have a gap year and quite have this like little vacation time, whatever. It worked really well for 1 week, and then I was working already. And eventually I came back to Germany after this year that I spent time working at my father's company, then Microsoft, and then a big MRO, like a company that replaces airplanes. So I came back here to work for Lufthansa, and since the Lufthansa times where I was working as innovation manager, I just like decided to stay here.
And you are right now working with everything that is related to creativity, innovation, and well, we are just here at WeWork in the weSpark hub. So can you tell us a bit more on your current
Yeah, sure.
endeavors?
So you have to imagine, and this is something that we have talked before. With weSpark, we are following the mission to spread innovation and making it easy for everybody, right? And I told you before that during my times at Lufthansa, I kind of had to work with a lot of other externals that were, let's say, like innovation consultants and so on, and I was quite dissatisfied with what they had to offer and what they were doing. So I felt that every time that I had something to do with these people, they were just bringing us further away from what innovation really is. So and that during these times, I decided one day I want to have a real innovation space. and I wrote some sort of like rant article describing what a real functional innovation space is, and also what a fake show-off innovation space is. So this Spark Hub that we just built is quite like our answer to all of these places that where you go and maybe they have this like a huge wall so that everybody can sketch and draw, but somebody made really cool art at the beginning and it hasn't been erased or used in years, right? And maybe they have some drones but it's behind glass, and maybe there's a VR headset but it's on top of a mannequin and nobody dares to try all these technologies and things out. So we decided to build a real innovation space here, and that's what we have accomplished. And as you know, what we can do is like we can 3D print stuff, we can film videos, we can go into virtual reality and kind of experience what we have built inside of there, and many other different, like prototyping technologies as well. And that's quite what we have there. Yeah,
congratulations, Nelson, because indeed it's a really great achievement, and I'm really happy and amazed to be here today. But one question that I have for you as well, Nelson, is on this journey, were there difficulties or challenges that you overcome that you could share with our audience or mistakes that you have done that people could learn from you?
How many? For now it's just like 1 hour of mistakes. No, but sure. I believe something that was quite challenging for me, and possibly coming from the mistake that I totally underestimated how difficult it was, and it is like getting your first customer. And I made so many mistakes. Maybe if I want to sum it up and explain it super easily, the mistake that I was doing is that at the beginning I concentrated and focused on doing and running, designing and running innovation workshops. And the metaphor that I have now to explain my mistake is this one. Imagine you go to the doctor and you tell them, oh, hello doctor, I'm feeling sick. And then it's like, yeah, okay, open your mouth and say and it's like antibiotica. You need it's like it doesn't matter what you have. Oh, I broke my leg, antibiotico. So if you're always getting antibiotics because that's the only thing that you do, then whatever problem your customer has, you just have one solution. And that was totally the wrong approach. So it took me months, really like months and months, to figure that out and to start, really properly diagnosing. When you go to the doctor, you want to get diagnosed before you get any sort of treatment, right? So that was possibly one of the biggest mistakes, and also together with the biggest challenge, like getting the first customer took several months. It was around 5 or 6 months after I started the company, and around 3 months after operation started. So that's quite some time, and you can imagine that at the beginning you also have the parallel challenge that money goes really fast, but it comes only slow. And then building the reputation with it, which you can imagine your first customer knows that it's your first customer. So whichever claim you have, it's just based on you and what you have, but your company is nothing. So that was quite a challenging thing. But the only thing that I knew on how to solve it is that around 3 years before I started publishing articles, really starting to network a little bit more and kind of be out there and comment on things, and let the people know it's like, hey, look, I'm an expert in this topic, so that they know me later that Nelson is the expert. Nowadays, I believe that weSpark is quite, it's quite like this baby that now people know, okay, this baby, innovation expert baby.
Yes.
But eventually what I want is the weSpark is totally independent from me being there and running the workshops.
Yes.
That I can
So, for example, for an entrepreneur or someone that wants to do the leap from a LATAM country into Germany, Europe, summarizing, having a good overview of the market and already having a potential first client is key, in your opinion. Any other tips that you could share with people that will apply to join our platform?
Sure, especially if you're looking into starting a business here in Europe, just go to your network, to the one that you already have, and try to find if there's any link to somebody that is already established here. They don't need to be entrepreneurs themselves here in Europe to be able to help you. They might be, I don't know, in like a particular industry or some institution, whatever. But people who you already know, who know other people in the place where you're going to be, you gotta get close to them and genuinely offer some help back, right? Because it's not just about asking, oh, please give. You also you need to have something to give back to them. So that will be my suggestion. Like if you don't have a network somewhere and you need a network to grow a business, just approach a network that you already have and see who can help you extend your network towards the place where you're going to go. That will be my
indeed, network, with network and communities are topics that we all focus on, and we tried for this platform to onboard as many partners as possible to support this networking power, the ecosystem, and we are very happy that weSpark is also joining as a partner. Frankfurt Valley is another partner, but we are inviting different stakeholders from Germany and also from LATAM to join. Last question, maybe we'll try to make it a funny one. So if you could mix characteristics from LATAM and European, which top skills would you pick from the different sides of the ocean to get the best out of the both sides?
All right. I'm gonna go to the ones. This is something that I have already asked myself. Some people have already asked me, like, is there anything from the Salvadorian culture that you bring to Germany, and is there anything from the German culture that you bring back to weSpark? So actually both the weSpark. Let's start with the easy one, because I was born in El Salvador. So people know from most Latin American cultures that we're all quite warm, and like that we know how to not even negotiate, but how to just like kind of talk and genuinely enjoy having other people around, and this like welcomeness and this like I don't know if the word is servitude, but this like being there for others, quite feeling is something that we can use pretty well. I mean, you still need to know where are the borders. For example, in Germany, it's really different than in Spain. Like if you're going to greet a customer, then come and just kiss them, and right? It's just like maybe a good shake of hands. And nowadays it's like more of a fist bump because of COVID. But from the German part, or at least like this is not for all of Europe, but this is at least what I have learned from the German part, is like bringing all of this structure and processes and those like cleanliness of having systematic methodologies to achieve X, whatever. This is like if you mix the two, like this, you always know that your plan is gonna go from A to B to C to D to you achieve your objective, but at the same time implementing this like this A, but let's make it cool. This B, but let's make people feel welcome at this time. This C, but let's check it in the process that is human centric. That the process is not regulating the people, but that it adapts to the situation, to the weather, to the emotions, and to everything else too. So that's quite a thing that I will say that it's the best mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last question, but we can try to improvise another one.
Yeah. Okay.
I was last here. The final last one. Well, we have been talking about innovation, creativity.
Yeah.
Normally, people in LATAM are quite creative in a way. Do you think that this could really be a good way to leverage as a quality or a skill here in Europe, in Germany, that this could be a benefit that companies could
I can only agree. I mean, especially together from you're coming from another place and you have a different perspective, right? Like, I don't know, like we put frames here on the lower side of the room to cover the electricity connector. No, but for real, I believe that when you have a different perspective, because you come from somewhere else and you come from a culture that is at least in the place where you're going rather creative or more creative than the place where you're coming, then, it's a really good combination. So yeah, you just gotta leverage it. Each country has something different. Each region has something different. So you gotta discover those for yourself and kind of test a little bit what works, what doesn't. Yeah, I mean, at the very end, testing different things. What works and what's not is the only way that you are sure that you're finding the best way. Else, what is the alternative? You only test one thing, and if it works and you stay there, then you're gonna grow into conformity and never be able to really strongly develop your business forwards in what people will call it an innovative way.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, Nelson, once again, thank you very much for all the inputs. I think we could go for hours discussing other topics, but for today we wanted just to make a short video. And my last message is really for people to in LATAM, entrepreneurs, innovators, creative people, to try to check our webpage. It's argentinavalley.com. It's Argentina, but the call for application is open for all the LATAM countries, Argentina, Chile, El Salvador, Paraguay, Colombia. We could name all the countries, but the idea is that until Friday you can apply. We'll then scout the applications and choose the 10 best ones. And the idea is that we will have a pitch day on the 20th of July. And in that day, we will match make the selected projects with corporates and different stakeholders from our region here in Hessen. And well, the winner of the pitch day will receive a prize that is worth $10,000, which is a 6-month accelerator program with Main Stage Incubator. But all in all, I think it's a multiple opportunities for everyone that joined, because we will do a lot of networking, matchmaking. So if you are watching this, if you are in LATAM, apply now. And that's it for today.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.